So if you've ever watched a scary movie, you know the first time you see it, it's terrifying. And then sometimes you'll watch it again and it's less scary. And if you've watched the same scary movie dozens of times, it becomes ridiculous. You start to notice how funny it was that you were afraid of this terrifying clown or ridiculous girl who climbs out of a well. Trauma narrative works much the same way. When we're afraid of what's around the next bend, what's in the next scene, we're terrified and we can't move forward. When we sit in a place where you're accepted, where you feel supported and comfortable, and you can talk through the story, and you can talk it again, and you can talk it again, pretty soon it doesn't hold that power, and you start to realize it's not nearly as frightening as I thought it was. And it's okay. Maybe some of it almost becomes ridiculous that you had circled the mountain so many times about something that happened so long ago.
Addiction tends to be the answer to the trauma. So for those that especially experience trauma at an early age, childhood, adolescence, they really aren't mature enough to know and understand how to deal with that trauma adaptively. So addiction is the answer for those that struggle because it numbs the feelings, it helps people to really cope with life's struggles.
I find at an early age, oftentimes people have other coping mechanisms. They might use anger, food, relationships, sex, and those work for a time. And when those other coping mechanisms no longer work or are no longer sufficient to numb the pain from trauma, oftentimes they find the comfort of substances. And like Deb said, it solves the problem for a long time until it creates its own problem in itself.
It's hard to get people just to accept the fact, my gosh, this horrible thing has happened to me for all of the reasons that Mike has explained. With my clients, sometimes I talk about the fact of going around the mountain. You know, how many times are you going to keep going around this mountain? How many times are you going to keep circling the problem? Because it's endless. So we find that if they just accept they're here, they've got a problem, and it's really time to face it. Mike and I and other therapists here, we offer all of our clients a safe place to really let down. With our goal being, let's establish a good relationship so that they can feel safe with us.